Welcome to another video of Read the Reddit. What is the creepiest or most unexplained event that you have ever experienced? One car from one direction, and another car from the other direction stopped in front of my house. Both drivers got out and one gave the other a briefcase. Now that I am older, I am guessing it was some kind of drug deal or something, but at the time I found it very weird. Very recently I returned to my apartment after visiting family for a few days, and my roommate was out of town and had been for a few days. I removed the old coffee pod from the Keurig she had left and threw it away, in a brand new trash bag. I had just taken out the trash, and got a new pod to put in. When I opened the lid, there was another pod. I figured that I had just meant to throw the old one away but didn't actually do it, and when I went to toss it, the only thing in the trash was the pod I had just thrown out. I still can't explain how I threw away the same coffee pod twice. We had a little copper music box that would start playing on its own. It was a man sitting at a player piano and it would play the entertainer song. Now, I know that music boxes and such can spring, for lack of a better word, forward and play a few notes. But this thing would act like someone had wound it up and would play for a minute or two completely at random. I used to have a ceramic tumble music player that sat on a shelf. Sometimes in the middle of the night it would go off playing Baby Mine. Used to trip me out as a kid, and I'd pull the blankets up over my head when it happened. I think the spring would trip when pressure in the room changed by AC kicking on or something like that. My family used to raise cattle. One morning I came out to check on them and I found one of the heifers had been more or less completely devoured. This same cow was perfectly fine the day before. There was nothing left but some hide, bones, and intestines. The thing is, none of the predators that are in my area would be able to kill and eat an entire cow within the course of one night, much less leave so little behind. Sounds like the meat thieves that were hitting farms a few years ago. They were going after horse meat though, and it was awful. They killed a couple beloved show horses. I was in junior high and had really long hair. I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and almost tripped on a shoe on the floor. I bent down to move it and it felt like someone grabbed my entire ponytail and yanked it. I also could not sleep facing the wall for the longest time because it always felt like someone or something was right there behind me. Pretty sure I witnessed a kidnapping once, and it still lives rent-free in my head. The woman lost her slipper when she was trying to get away, and I took a picture of it that I still have for some reason. I did indeed report it to police right after I saw it occur, but they were pretty blasé copyright about it, and I never ended up being able to determine what they did to investigate. I was about 5 when this happened, but I remembered it like it was yesterday. What was wrong with me? But when I was about to sleep, suddenly I see my lower drawer open and my plushie snake toy was peeking its head out of the drawer. It was looking around for a bit and then froze when we made eye contact. When I got out of bed and approached it, I just picked it up, closed my drawer and went back to sleep with it in my hand. If I was dreaming or hallucinating, but the next day I remember I had the plushie in my arms in the morning, but I just went on like it was normal. Looking back now, I was such an innocent and careless kid. Lol. I have no long-form explanation to this, but I was sitting in a friend's room one night and we were looking at the sky through the window when all of a sudden a bunch of lights popped up in the sky and started zooming back and forth. Like, really faint but really big patches of just white on the night sky. In high school, my best friend and I were on the girls' golf team and were playing around at the golf course after school one day. We were on this one hole, and I hit a bad shot into this wooded area. BTW, this golf course is a country club surrounded by houses, so it's not out in the middle of nowhere. We go over to find my ball and noticed what looked like organs. At first, we assumed they were animal organs, but the more we looked at it, the more we realized it was probably not animal organs. It turns out, we had found part of the remains of a guy whose stepson had murdered him and scattered his remains around the city. That was it for this video. Do not forget to subscribe for more.